What's up YouTube? Fish Trap is here with another character intro video. Today we're gonna take a look at Springman. Technically it could be Springman and Buffleman together, but we'll do these videos one at a time. I don't think it's very beneficial if you just do both at the same time. So we'll do Springman this week, we'll do Buffleman next week, assuming this fight doesn't end a lot earlier than I expected. Always a reminder that I always record these like in advance, so for all I know, the fight already ended with this current episode and I just was unaware. But hopefully I'm gonna try to do Springman and Buffleman back to back. So Springman this week, Buffleman next week. But anyways, Springman, yep, here we are. We've seen him back from season 1. You might even have seen like me allude to him like in other videos, but I never really directly talked about Springman very much. But here is Springman. He's a fairly decently popular character. I don't think he's maybe like one of the less popular like double judges because he doesn't really have like a very cool fight. I think like in the original arc all he had was a fight against Wolfman and then like a tag match, kind of similar to what he had in this arc actually, minus the first initial fight. So I feel like a character like doesn't get a lot of spotlight. I'm pretty sure like the only Devil Trojan to like not have his own theme song, which is like kind of unfortunate, right? So man, I think I pretty forgot a Devil Trojan, but definitely like, very popular because like just look at him, look how he's like just vibing there with like his little bounciness, right? So definitely it's not a pretty popular character, but I think maybe a bit underrepresented, a bit underappreciated like in the actual anime. But you're not here to like learn about Springman in the show or the manga or whatever. You're here to learn about Springman in MGP2. So how is Springman in MGP2? Well, Springman is probably the best like Devil Trojan. I mean, not calling like the Devil Knight, even calling like the Devil Knights actually, but that's like I'm gonna myself. Probably like the best Devil Trojan. Oh, I just like I'm not calling Shogun, but that's like a whole different story. Let's just stick with that. Among like the 7 Devil Trojans, he's almost definitely the best out of all of them. Why? Because Springman is an extremely effective rushdown character. I guess before I jump into anything too deeply, let me address the elephant in the room. You probably saw the thumbnail, and I've seen me mention it before, and I keep calling Springman like this game's Mishima. Why do I keep saying that? Well, does he have a wave dash? No. This is his old regular movement, like this regular MGP2 movement. If there's a character like with a wave dash in this game, it's Zebra, not Springman. Does he have a hell sweep? 6-8 kind of looks like part of the animation of a hell sweep, right? Like it kind of does like the little kind of like, you know, the bear hell sweep, I guess. So I guess, does he have like the Mishima 112? No. I guess he has this, which is not even like a natural string, so no. So what does Springman have that makes it so that I call him a Mishima? What's the most popular thing about a Mishima? The electric wind god fist, right? So does Springman have an electric? Kind of, yes, sort of. Yes, sort of, maybe. So this is 668. This is a 12-frame launcher. Let me repeat that. 12-frame launcher, which is insanely fast in this game. Most launchers in this game are like 17 frames, 18 frames. Generally, like if you want to compare frame data with like a Tekken game, this is kind of slower, right? The jabs that tend to be like 11 frames, 12 frames, like slower than like Tekken jabs. Launchers tend to be slower than Tekken launchers. But this is a 12-frame launcher. That would be insane even in Tekken. This is just, again, extremely fast. This basically gives Springman some really unique niches, basically just being able to like abare with like this really fast launcher to just win shambles situations. The electric Devil's Slinky Fist, I like that one. I've been calling it like the electric Spring God Fist personally. Remember that in this game throws are minus 16. So if you do it properly, you can punish throws using his launcher, which is a really good punish, right? You basically get a full juggle combo, which we'll get to more like in a second. But you basically get a really nice big punish of like just taking a throw, which is always a very good thing in this game. But even beyond that, the reason why I call it like an electric wind god fist, electric spring god fist, electric devil slinky fist, whatever, is the fact that what's the other like dividing characteristic of like the electric, right? The fact that it's like very good on block, right? The fact that it's like basically gives you pressure on block. That's true with this game. Naturally, it has very good recovery, but most launchers in this game are kind of that way. Like this by itself is like +5, which is like very decent, but it's like not special like in this game. Like a lot of launchers like have good recovery, high block stun that you do get to be like a slightly plus after that. However, what makes Springman 668, which is besides being you know very fast, another thing that makes it like unique is the fact that it is also cancelable. That means you can do 668 charge cancel, and it's a very early cancel window as well. You see that? And this leaves Springman at +12. He's plus 12 when he does this. Of course, doing this into itself, something like this maybe, isn't like a real block string because of like spacing, but it's still like a really strong pressure tool if you just like do something like this. And it's an incredible, you know, punishing tool. Because like it's just good for just like when you're like in scramble situation. It's just like the super fast, highly rewarding launcher. And it's just so amazing in pressure because you just have like this 12 frame move that's plus 12 on block if you like cancel it like this. If you notice, I am dropping it. It's not very difficult because the launcher input like isn't like super complicated. It's just like 4-4-A. Apologies, I think my joystick input was like not working there, but you can see like the input is 4-4-A. So charge has something like this. So the input like is not very bad, but it can kind of get kind of tricky if you're trying to do his more optimal combos and you want to like be able to do it like in a pinch, right? But yeah, it's like just an extremely strong pressure tool. And that's not even all that Springman has. He has a lot of other really great moves. His jab is a 10 framer, which is very rare. Most jabs in this game are 11 or 12 frames, some 13 frames. Springman like just has like a 10 framer, which lets him just win a lot of scramble situations very easily. That said, his jab doesn't have a lot of grid options off of it. The only like guaranteed jab string is just this, which is like really low damage, but it leaves him at +5 on hit, so that's still like, you know, really decent. Actually, I skipped over something in my notes. 66A. You might think, okay, so what's the weakness of 66A? Can I like parry it? Because if you parry it, remember, you can't cancel moves on parry, right? If you parry 66A, just like this, right? Springman is only -5. Which means he's completely safe. -5, you can't punish that. Like, he's, of course, like, you know, he's minus, his turn is over, but he's completely safe. So you can kind of just do this with Reckless Abandon, and then if it gets parried by accident, you're fine. You just, oh, I got parried, let me just hold block, prepare to, like, you know, take a throw or something like that, because I'm perfectly safe, you know? So, yeah, this 68, incredible button. Where was I? Oh, yeah, his other good buttons. Yeah, so jab is really good. It's like the actual damage is not amazing. Just being like a 10 framer is amazing. He has like a criminal natural strength because he has like this little kick here that a medium stuns. This combo to throw by itself, by the way. But you're not gonna do that because it has like a follow up doing this. This like little shoulder isn't like very notable. It basically like does like a little. Hold on. Basically, as you might see there, I'm gonna get a bit of myself. As you can see there, like it does like a little shoulder bump that just like license, but for some reason it natural combos from this kick, and if it does, it ends up heavy stunning. This is an ungodly plus heavy stun, like because you know obviously like the move design like up like heavy stun, right? So this ends up being like plus 22 at worst, and also like for the uncancelable, so you can just combo into like heavy stun throw like that if you want, right? But even without it, like this by itself is already like plus 22. So that means if you want, you can just do this link into I think you even have something like dash up actually. Yeah, you can like do this and then like just link into the launcher if I can get it right. Like that, and like they'll probably combo because again, with TAS level mashing, it's like plus 22 at worst, right? So you're getting like that combo. But even if you don't, you can just do something like this into like a heavy stun throw. Very easy, simple combo from this very kind of like low risk kind of like little kick that he has, right? You can even do this into his special throw, which is also really good because special throws are special throws, right? And Springman, you might remember, also has solid OT, like not amazing because it's a bit stubby. We'll talk more about like stubbiness later, but it also has some really good OTGs. If you remember back to Ramen Man or Kinnikuman having like a little low kick into a like special move OTG. Springman has something similar where off of this off of that you can like do like a walk into like this into like that, and that's like solid 156 extra damage, right? So just off of stuff like, you know, he gets like something like this, confirm into his special throw, do a little micro walk, do 148, do 148, 66S, but I missed it. That little kick has a really tight control window, but that's not, I'm not a hero there. He also has a. This is also really good. This is like just like another move with a really good cancel window. Like look at that, right? So he can do this and then like just confirm, oh, it hits, let me just combo into a throw, right? A lot of characters like have a move similar to, like, it can do this, you know, like a cancelable heavy, form moving heavy stun move. Springman just has this on top of everything else, so it's just really good. And if he doesn't cancel it, he just ends up bouncing backwards, so it can be like a bit safe or like safer if it gets blocked or parried, right? It's like a really tricky move to parry, like punish, like just because of like the little bounce back that he does, like leaving him a bit further away. But you know, if you get hit with it, right, you just charge cancel, maybe launcher or something like that, right? Again, I can't overstate enough how insanely good a 12 frame launcher is in any game, really, but in this game especially, because you can just randomly have like a slightly plus on, like, you know, plus situation on hit, let it rip, right? It's extremely good. He also has like a few other like okay specials, like he has like this like dive kick that's like, it's actually like not very good. I'm not gonna lie, like the Ferdinand like isn't amazing. He also has this little thing where, like, when he launches himself like that, it's not bad, like randomly close out rounds or like close out distances, but it's a bit gimmicky. It's like quite bad on like block or parry, so definitely like the want to overuse that. Right? But you can probably tell from everything right now, Springman is just this. I didn't even show you like the combo. I thought all about this, but I didn't actually like show what the combo looks like. But just to guess like what a combo using, you know, the electric spring godfist looks like. It's just this. You basically just chain them together. Springman's entire combo theory is chaining as many 668 as possible, to basically just maximize like damage. And of course he has an air throw to just end combos with, right? Of course he does. That's always good to have. I only did I think like 4 reps there, but like if you're really optimal with Springman, you can get up to like 5, even 6 reps of like 668, and that can go into like a lot of damage. But if you're just like me and you're like, nope, I'm not very good at Springman, and fully closure, right? I'm pretty bad at Springman. Springman's a character that I've just never really like vibed with personally. Doing like 3 or 4 reps, that's still like pretty decent. You probably like want at least like 4 reps too. I'm not gonna lie. But it's also kind of why I often joke to people that if you want to be a Springman player, or you want to like commit to being a Springman, or rather the other way around, that if you're a hitbox player, Springman is an extremely good pick, because if you play on a hitbox, right, doing that motion of just doing the 68 charge cancel is very natural. You get to do that a lot faster and a lot cleaner, and it can make those, you know, 5-6 reps a lot easier to just like do it, right? But if you're like me on stick, or you're playing on an arcade, you kind of just cry and just like learn to do it the hard way, right? It's still like it's like not too bad, honestly, but it definitely like takes like a lot of practice. So Springman definitely like a bit more difficult than some of the other characters that we've taken a look at, you know, in the last few videos. So yeah, that's kind of like Springman in a nutshell, right? Like, it's like an insanely good Russian character, and then like combos that might not look the coolest, but are very rewarding and definitely have like a really like satisfying learning curve to them, right? The moment you get like that 5 or 6 rep, like 5 or even like 6 rep, you know, spring upper, or like spring godfist or whatever. The move it sounds called upper, which is like a really lame name, right? That's why I always call it like, you know, the spring upper, or like spring godfist or whatever. Once you get like those 5-6 reps, like it just feels amazing. I've only like gotten, like, I personally I think I've gotten like the 5 rep once, but I should be able to like do, you know, 4 reps pretty consistently. You know, trying, right? And that's like not too bad. But what are like his weaknesses? If you might notice there, his damage isn't amazing, but though it feels kind of wrong to call him like low damage, right? I think his juggles don't feel amazing, for me personally at least. So it might speak a bit too much from personal experience. I've always found that his juggles are, I feel like I'm putting in so much work for not that much damage, right? Like, to recap, right, like if I can get it right, doing like the 4 reps, and that one, I know it's also unfair, but it was supposed to do like 312 if you want OTG like 264, which is not bad damage, but it feels like for how hard I have to work doing like those reps, it feels like not that much damage, right? Compared to like some other characters who can just access the damage like a lot more readily. Of course, you can't forget that this comes from like a freaking 12 frame launcher, which probably makes it like, yeah, that's fair. Because the damage is still like a third of most characters' life. So just getting a third of your life shaved off from someone landing a 12 frame launcher is still pretty good. So definitely can't really complain about that, right? And of course, he still has a special throw that just lets him OTG, and this can still like be a pretty big burst damage, right? If I can get the OTG. Here we go. Micro walk. There, right? Like that's like 300. Like it's like 300 something base damage, like 312 plus 156 does a solid like almost 470 damage off of like a special throw. That's really solid, right? A lot of characters like want something like that. So definitely can't call him like low damage, but maybe it feels like maybe like you sometimes do combos with him and you go like that's it, and that it feels sometimes like he's not doing as much as it feels like he should be with how much work you have to put in. I guess like there's just kind of like a mismatch in terms of like effort to damage ratio, if that makes sense. Again, I might just be complaining because I'm bad. I'm probably always complaining because I'm bad at this character, but that's like one thing that I would say. Maybe a more like real problem is that Springman is very stubby, right? His jab is not very big. I think it doesn't even punish throw attack. I'm not sure, but I want to say if it does, it's just like it's very finicky. It does, okay. So his jab still does, but so he's like not as stubby as like some characters. Hey, but overall, right? You can look at him, you can see like his limbs. He's like a size small, which also like doesn't help. But that doesn't mean like his limbs are pretty short. Like he doesn't have like that much range, right? And that's like the 6A isn't very big. And he has like tools to approach, but he doesn't just have a nice like big mid-range poke. Think like a Ramen Man 6A. He doesn't have anything like that. He doesn't even have like the really common like MGP2 like low sweep kick, because it's 2A. It's just like this little stomp. He has like 214A, which is also kind of that, but again very stubby, right? If this was Man, like this would reach from this range. So definitely maybe not the best neutral in that sense. Definitely like a lot more awkward neutral. Just again, ways to get in between like this and like that. But and honestly, getting in like, isn't necessarily like very difficult. This is not really a game where you can really be zoned out or kept out very much. But definitely has pretty stubby buttons, and I can be like kind of frustrating. Not really like a character like if you're used to playing neutral with like Man 2A or just like Man 6A, characters with like these really good mid-range pokes. Springman basically has like none of that. You basically have to just get in their face, use like your 10 framers, your 12 framers, and just win off of that. Right? And then there's the issue that even like once you do get in, with the stubby buttons, which again not the hardest thing because of the way the game is. Springman kind of has a hard time keeping people like staying in, because a lot of his stuff don't give him good positioning. His air throw, I want you all to like look at it again, right? Is kind of like leaves them a bit far away, right? Especially like when you use them at the ropes. Springman kind of like rolls to the side, so he doesn't like maintain corner positioning. Like if you're in the corner, he rolls less, but you still kind of lose on the corner positioning, which honestly isn't unique to like his air throw, but definitely doesn't feel great, right? Like you kind of end up like that. You still kind of have the corner, so honestly like it's at the end of the world, but definitely you're not like just right there. And with Springman specifically, some characters, right, if they want to like keep corner positioning, they might have like an SKD option. Springman has no SKDs. The only way Springman can end a juggle with a knockdown is with his air throw. So he has like no alternatives to that air throw, which means there's no, he can't just let me do an SKD to like just keep them where I want them. So that's not a huge downside, but kind of a problem, right? And likewise, his special throw, if you notice, he just has the one. It does side switch. He doesn't have a special throw that doesn't side switch. So if you like say your opponent is blocking, right, and like the ropes, you use like your absurdly good pressure tool, you combo into special throw. Unfortunately, you now put them out of the corner. The damage is good, of course, but unfortunately, you do end up losing on the corner positioning. Again, maybe kind of matter nitpicks, right? That's not to say. I guess like other things like nitpick, I guess, is like his throw involved options aren't amazing, which is again maybe like very very unfair to say, because obviously he still has moves like this, which is just naturally throw involved, or this or that. Moves that are just by design, by animation, are throw involved. I think, yeah, but 66A is not one of them. 66A does not have throw involved despite the animation. And so he does have throw involved, but he doesn't have like local middle throw involved options, right? Most characters like to have like a little 2A that just goes under stuff, right? Think Kinnikuman, Terryman, Ramen Man, a lot of those characters like have like the kind of low profile, fairly local middle, but good neutral poke 2A. Springman doesn't have that. Springman like just has like this little stomp, little kick that's not even very big, right? So again, maybe if you're used to like playing on throws with a lot of throw involved moves, Springman can feel kind of awkward with that, right? Because all he has is like stuff that's a lot more committal, like I'm like this. So yeah, honestly, like that's kind of all the weaknesses, which again, kind of similar to like when I was talking about Ramen Man, maybe kind of like fake. The stubbiness, I guess, and the damage maybe is a little bit more true-ish, but for the most part, again, not very concrete weaknesses, right? Definitely like a very strong character. Just definitely has like some, maybe not even weaknesses necessarily, but things that others is like less good at, like just poking from the neutral range. But it's just like not what he does. Just wants to be in there and you know, land a lot of these, right? And that's kind of Springman. If you like that obvious, Springman is very, very good. I said in the beginning of the video, he's probably the best among the 7 Devil Trojans. And probably like a character that a lot of people like nowadays rate as just outside of the top tier. So this is very good, definitely like top 10 for sure, maybe even top 5 arguably. A very strong character for sure, but this me personally, not a character that I personally like vibe with very much, just because of all of these things stacking up. So yeah, I will admit like this weakness section has very much been colored by like my own opinions about like my own like the way I play MGP2, which just like is not really what Springman is doing, unfortunately. But yeah, he's great. He's so good. If you love Springman, if you love like rushing down folks, Springman is a great pick. I haven't even shown you his super. Like that's probably like the other most notable thing about him. Shout out to like Sejam. Another thing that I love to show about his super is the fact that Springman had 6A, by the way. Like this that I'm counting Jewel is that it's so plus that if you CCC into a super off of it, it just jails into the super, or just like a comedic, right? Here you see like the dummy like set to like block and to like tech throws, but if I do 6A CCC super, it just combos because the opponent like is just stuck in a block stun while they're taking this, and like he does the double slinky off maybe like reference super in like Sejam like Lilith kills. And his corner super, I think like it's like kind of like not as cool, but it's something. So yeah, that's Springman. Again, great character. Definitely give him a try if you are interested in him or just want to play a very good, very effective Russian character, or if you just like love this move. Honestly, fair, like completely fair. This move is just so good. Like it's an amazing character, right? But yeah, that was Springman. Kind of a long video. Let's see how this will look like in post. We'll see how much of this is kept. But yeah, that's Springman, and hope you all liked it. Hope you all enjoy Springman. Again, maybe like a bit more in depth or a bit more long-winded than I'm planning to, but here we are. I guess I'm already long enough as it is, so I won't stall even further. Next week, we'll probably look at Buffalo Man, right? We did Springman, so it's natural that we did Buffalo Man. So look forward to that for like Buffalo Man fans. But yeah, otherwise, play Springman or don't. But regardless, keep playing MGP2 or try the game if you never get, right? Yeah, Springman.